Movado threatens to sue judge. Man charged for selling rented vehicle, while two women charged for murder of Digicell employee. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Dancehall artist Movado is threatening to take legal action against those involved in what he described as injustice against his son, Dante Brooks and Andre Hines, following the recent overturning of their convictions for a 2018 shooting murder. The two murder convictions and life sentences were quashed by the appeal court last week after the court ruled that their convictions had been rendered unsafe, leading to a substantial miscarriage of justice. Movado has since broken his silence following the ruling, stating that while he is elated that his son has been freed, fire is raging within him at the injustice that took place. He said a trial without a jury, decided by a lone judge who chose not to take into account the number of times the single witness changed his statements, admitted to lying to the police, and fabricated his accounts of events. He said they sensationalized the story with outrageous claims which the postmortem also proved to be lies. He continued, questioning how such a blunder could have occurred. The artist said he will be pursuing full legal action against all parties involved. Movado also had to flee and stay away from Jamaica as the police also wanted to question him as a suspect in that same murder as well. Brooks and Hines were in March of 2021 sentenced to life behind bars for the 2018 murder of Lorenzo Israel Thomas in Cassava Peace in St. Andrew. According to reports, at 3:30 a.m. on June 5th of 2018, a group of armed men forced their way into the victim's house where he was shot, chopped, and his body set ablaze. Brooks, who was 16 at the time of the murder, was ordered by trial judge Justice Leighton Pusey, who heard the matter without a jury, to serve 22 years before being eligible for parole. He was also sentenced to 20 years for illegal possession of firearm and 15 years for arson. His co-accused Hines, who was 23 at the time of the incident, was sentenced to life imprisonment for murder and would not have been eligible for parole before 17 years. He was also sentenced to 15 years at hard labor for illegal possession of firearm and 15 years at hard labor for arson. Meanwhile, a man who allegedly rented a vehicle and then sold it for $800,000 is now facing multiple fraud charges in relation to that incident. Charged with larceny for motor vehicle, obtaining money by false pretense, and possession of a criminal property is 23-year-old Trevon Hydal from St. Mary. And it's alleged that on January 30, Hydal rented a motor car and drove the car to Portmore in St. Catherine, where he sold the vehicle to a man for $800,000. The police said the vehicle was tracked and found in possession of a man who informed officers of the transaction he made with Hydal. Investigations lead to Hydal's subsequent arrest, and he set to appear in court on Thursday, March 13. The police have now made a breakthrough in the killing of a Digicell Jamaica employee whose body was found in a barrel last month after he was reported missing. 3 women have been charged in connection with the killing. Others are in custody, and the police are also seeking several more suspects. The deceased 43-year-old Kevin Walker from Antrim Road in Vineyard Town in Kingston 3 was a sales administrator at the telecommunications company. Walker was found inside a blue plastic barrel along Industrial Terrace in the Kingston Western Division on February 3rd of this year, and his stolen debit and credit cards have now been recovered. Those charged are Anita Vanze, 30, from Mark Lane, Shade Bennett, 29 years old, from Oxford Street, and Joanne Birdie Williams, 36, also from Oxford Street in Kingston. They have been charged with murder, conspiracy to murder, and several other charges. The police have also listed 2 men as persons of interest in connection with the killing. They are Lavar Witter and a man known as Shano. And those men are being asked to report Denham Town Police Station by 6 p.m. today. And it is said at about 10 a.m. on February 1st, Walker left home and went to meet the woman who lured him into the Hannatown community. While there, he was accosted by 3 men at a premises. The men robbed him of his debit and credit cards and forced him to give up his personal identification number, which is his PIN number, and online banking information, which he did. Immediately afterwards, police said 2 women went to an ATM at Crossroads in St. Andrew, where they withdrew monies from Walker's card, returning to the premises and shared it among the group. Walker was tied up, beaten, and stabbed to death. Around 11:50 p.m. that same day, the body was placed in a barrel and disposed of on Industrial Terrace. And men, you have to mind how them look women these days, because some of these women are straight gangsters. A man has been hospitalized after he was shot while confronting a policeman with a piece of board in Spalding on Saturday. The man sustained a gunshot wound to his left hand during the incident, which happened about midday in a town which borders Manchester and Clarendon. A video of the incident shows two policemen walking towards a service vehicle when a man armed with what appeared to be a piece of board approached one of them. One of the policemen then pulled his firearm, pointed it towards the man. The man was seen lifting the board towards the policeman before a loud explosion was heard. The video also showed the man walking away from the police with his blood-soaked white shirt before he used it to wrap his injured hand and jump into a truck transporting cooking gas cylinder. He now remains in hospital under police guard. And all we can say, he's a lucky man and could have been easily been number 61 killed by the police this year. Two men were killed and another wounded in a gun attack in Patrick City in St. Andrew on Thursday night last. The deceased have been identified as 29-year-old Raheem Nelson, a taxi operator from Beaconsville, Patrick City, and 34-year-old Kerrit Ship Donaldson, a business operator from a Kingston 20 address. Reports indicated that the men were sitting along the roadway at the intersection of Conway Street and Aberville Avenue when a lone gunman approached and opened gunfire. The men were rushed to hospital where Nelson and Donaldson were pronounced dead. The third victim is undergoing treatment. On to sports. Premier League, Waterhouse and Cavaliers played to a 1-all draw, while Mount Pleasant continues to win. They beat Dunbeholden 3-0. Harborview and Mullines United played to a 0-all draw, while Portmore and Tivoli played to a 1-all draw, and Vere United beat Humble Lions 2-0. This evening we'll see Chapelton Maroons face off with Montego Bay United, while Arnett Gardens will play Racing United. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.